What up, guys? Midwest Brownway Chronicles, episode 15. This is the football sports section of the podcast episode. How you guys been? Last week of preseason, first week technically of college football, week 0. People who love football like I do, these are just the moments where you start screaming internally because it's that close. It's right around the corner. We got 2 more weeks and NFL's back. College football being back gets me giddy because I like college football, just not as much as NFL. But college football's still fun. I live in Kansas, so K-State had a game today. KU had a game today. We had a few FBS games, FCS games outside of that. Wasn't bad. Pretty fun. The K-State and Iowa State game was in Ireland. It was pretty fun. A little lackadaisical to begin. First 3 quarters were kind of sloppy offense and sloppy defense. But in the 4th quarter, we started seeing fireworks, good defensive plays, good offensive plays, 40-yard touchdowns, 30-yard interception returns. It was still a really good week for football to come back. It was very fun to watch that game before I went to work today. The NFL preseason week 3, they've kind of just been throwing games out since Thursday. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week. I think Monday too. So just gearing us up for the slate of games we have coming up. Like I told you guys last week, this week is more predicated on those players that are on the bubble, those players that are trying to just make sure they guarantee a spot, those players that feel like they've done enough but just want to put a little icing on top of what they've shown their collective teams, respective coaches, GMs, so on and so forth. Had some pretty good highlights the last few days. Highlight real plays, highlight real catches, interceptions, throws. I told you guys again, take it with a grain of salt. Nobody needs to be proud about how their team performs in preseason. Be proud about how players progress, how you see improvements in certain areas. Me being a Dolphins fan, I'm not exactly proud because my Dolphins, our biggest issue has been the O-line, offensive line for such a long time. And I watched a little bit of the game, and offensive line is still a problem. And great teams like the Bills, like the Ravens, like the Eagles, the Chiefs figured it out again. Offensive line matters. You can't have a superstar team when your superstar quarterback gets hit all the time. When your superstar running back can't actually break away for a really big run. Didn't really inspire confidence, but like I said, take it with a grain of salt. I could be wrong. Maybe they didn't want to put the starters in. Maybe they didn't want to show us what they really worked on, because you don't want to have a lot of stuff on film for NFL teams to really plan for. You want to keep it vanilla in preseason and not worry too much about what you actually show defenses, because this isn't going to be what you guys run when the season starts. So take it with a grain of salt, and I won't be as upset about it. That being said, there are some players that definitely are shining in last-minute moments that really, I hate to see go. I hate to see go to another team, because these are the moments where that karma kind of happens for a team like my Dolphins, who have been kind of mediocre to good. Not mediocre to bad, mediocre to good. Middle of the pack to kind of successful to could be important to just kind of shoot themselves in the foot. So really hope that this year is different. We finally break through, because as a fan of football, it really is frustrating to know your football team is nowhere near as good as you think they can be. And they're all millionaires. They all know how to, I don't even know, develop talent, find talent, scout talent. So you tell me why the algorithms that 4 teams have to be really good every year and only 2 of them are going to be important at the end of the year. But then the other 12 that make it to the playoffs mean nothing. It's okay. But yeah, like I said, just don't put too much stock in preseason. Be frustrated about what you don't see. Be excited about what you do see. But just remember that it is preseason. I just read something earlier that I had to be reminded. The Lions went 4-0 in preseason in 2000 what year was that? 2016 when they went 0-16, or 2008 when they went 0-16? Yeah, 2008 when they went 0-16. The Lions went 4-0 in the preseason and then lost every single game. So how would a fan base feel knowing they could be so hyped in August for what the season's going to bring, and they're going to be so excited about what they see, only to lose every single game in the season? And I remember talking to my mom years ago about her Niners. She was trying to boast about it for a little bit. Yeah, they went 4-0 in the preseason. I remember looking at her and just saying, Mom, preseason has no ramification on regular season. Injuries do, players stepping up in their roles do, but the record means nothing. And she was so hype. And I remember them going 6 and 6-10 that year, and I was like, so that 4-0 start in preseason, does that really get anywhere? I don't think it really amounted to anything. But again, as football lovers, football fans, it's just a little snippet of what we want to see the most, which is games that matter, meaningful moments, meaningful plays, clutch moments. Even if the interception run back for a touchdown, even if the game-sealing interception doesn't matter as much in preseason, it's still fun to watch. I can admit that I still love football through and through. I don't love the media outlets constantly finding a way to create narratives on certain teams, on certain players, trying to create strife within locker rooms, because you can't act like NFL players aren't human. NBA players, NHL players, baseball players, soccer players aren't human. Tennis players, they all hear what the media says, and even if they want to pretend and hit you guys with the, oh, well, no, that's my PR team, their PR team's job is to come to them and say, hey, just so you're aware, this is what's being said about you online, this is what they're saying, this is how they're talking about you online. So I know that it's not always easy to hear the feedback, the criticisms, the flack. So we just have to really, as fans, be excited, but also remember, like, these people are human too. As much as I love this sport, after my team loses, after I get a little bit of breathability, I don't spend the whole week upset about the loss. I can talk about it, I can remember it, I can reflect on it, but I don't spend time like upset about millionaires who are playing a sport that I love losing a game they should have won. That's on them. That's on them. I'll watch another rebuild. I'll watch my head coach get fired, my GM get fired, my quarterback get traded. I'll watch all of that until we figure out how to be a consistently good winning team. But I won't make it my whole life. So I just want everyone to just like love the sports that you love, but like it's not you. Just remember that no matter what jersey you get, no matter what merchandise you get, no matter what autograph you get, it's not your life you're living. It's not their life you're living, I should say. You're not the athlete in the fourth quarter with a minute left and 40 yards to go. You're not the athlete in the fourth quarter with 2 seconds left and a game-winning shot in their hand. It's just not the point that we're in, the position that we're in as the casual sports fan. So just chill. Don't put pressure on yourself to stay mad about a sport that you can't control. Don't try to be upset about someone who will never talk to you personally. Get online and be rageful and say so many hateful things. It won't change how you wake up the next day and how you start your day. Be upset about it. Move on. And I can't act like I'm not a very upset man. I'm very competitive. I get very upset and passionate about things. I want to bang my head on the wall sometimes when my teams lose in very stupid ways. But at the same time, it's a sport that I love watching. And I just want them to be great at it. That's all I care about. I don't need anything else from these players, these teams, these coaches, these organizations. Make a really successful product that I just can't ignore. And I have no reason to be mad about. And then I'll always be there. So just gearing up for the football season. Here we go. College football and the NFL are starting to intertwine more and more with their weeks into December and January with the college football playoff now, the NFL playoffs, talking about adding another game hopefully in the next year or two to go get to 18 games. Like, a lot of things are still very, very fluid when it comes to football. But the biggest part is us as people who love football are so excited. Fall is coming around. Football is coming around. Good times are coming around. And let's get it going. Next season, here we come. Football is my love. I'll choose her over everything else sports-wise. So I can't wait. Can't wait to talk to you guys every week about how frustrated, how happy, how excited. And it's not going to be about my team. It's going to be about multiple teams. Whatever I see in the league, I just can't look at you guys and talk about preseason like it matters to me that much. It doesn't. The headlines are going to be the important players who struggled last year, the rookies who looked bad in their first year. They want to see have a jump in their second year. The players who have had controversy after their name. Just you name it. It's always the biggest focus in preseason. I'm ready for 2 weeks from now for it to not be speculation and hearsay and guessing, and now it becomes factual and we have a body of work to look at. So can't wait to be there. I'll probably skip on talking about football next week unless I want to talk about a PSA to just breathe when the season comes around. But can't wait. 2 weeks from now, football officially begins in full force and we will be there loving it. All right, guys, this has been the sports section of Midwest Brown Boy Chronicles. I am your Midwest Brown Boy, Jalen Brownfoot, signing off. Have a good week, guys. Peace out.